Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma, and still looking at this 4E book. Passive checks. This is something that I hear a lot of people complain about in 5E. 4E has a whole section on how to be a DM, and it's covered in there. So, they start out by telling you it's a great tool to keep your game rolling along. You know, so you're not just stopping every second and going, okay, Bob, roll the D20. Susie, roll a D20. You know, no. So this is a hack, a speed hack. The idea is you have a list of your player characters, the player's player characters' skills, numbers, okay? So you can quickly look and see, would they likely just know this or notice it? And if they do, if you determine, yeah, that's the deal, you just tell them stuff based on those numbers. It gives you an idea too about how well they might know something, so you can grade that information that you're going to give out. You know, you can adjust it. So you make a list of their passive skills, and that is 10 plus their skill bonus for perception, insight, arcana, dungeoneering, history, nature, and religion. I think there's some more over in the 5e, but you get the idea, guys. Perception, and they go on to define everything for you. Helps you check the scene, and there are people who are more perceptive. They talk about that, and in real life, you see it. You see, there's that person you always got to tell them where to find everything, and then even after you've done that, they still stand there and look, I can't find it, and then like everybody else is like, it's right there, dude. I don't see it, and somebody has to get up and show them, and then they're like, oh, there it is, and you know, that's with them actively looking. There's people like that. There's people who aren't actively looking. They got the headphones on, they're walking, and they walk into the telephone pole everybody else saw on the sidewalk, right? Failed their passive perception test. They don't know how to walk, look around, look down, look around. They don't know how to do that. Okay? Okay? So that's the sort of thing. And for the perception skill, it doesn't mean you tell them everything. It means you tell them what they might see. All right? And it says don't rely too heavily on it. You know, if it's information they need to know to get through the adventure, figure out a way to give them that information. If it's something that you need them to roll, then you have them roll. Insight. This works against the bluff. And it basically, if the PC's insight is greater than the bluff of the NPC, then they know the NPC is not being sincere, they're being deceitful, they're trying to bluff. Then if they want more information, that's when you make them roll. Knowledge, then it goes through knowledge, arcana, dungeoneering, history, nature, religion. Again, are they likely to know this? You know, if so, you tell them. If the numbers indicate it, you tell them. You also tell them that they're getting some information as you're going along because of the skill that they put the points into, so that they know the things they're doing to improve their character, in fact, are working. This should not break a game. It shouldn't break it in 5e either. I hear people all the time, oh, it broke the game, it broke the game. Let me give you an example of passive perception with working with, say, nature, environment, skills. You guys are on the pathway. Everybody's got passive perception. Is it likely that the party will notice the game trail? Well, they might if their passive perception is high enough, But, the guy who knows nature probably will notice the game trail. So let's say Bob notices the game trail because he's got a good passive perception and he's got a good nature skill, score. You tell him, yeah, you're on the trail. You see a game trail off to the right. Now, and people go, game trail, if they don't know, they're going to ask you, so just let them ask you. I mean, yes, sometimes I prefer people to try to figure out a way to ask questions without being that direct, but sometimes you can't get around it, especially if you're dealing with kids or something. They may not know what you're talking about. The ones the animals use. So they have a choice. They can all keep going. Somebody can stop. They can all go look, right? So if the group decides, we're just going to keep trucking, that's what they decided. You give them no more information. You give them zero. Even the guy who has nature. If Billy Bob, who knows all about deer and stuff, decides he's going to go check out the game trail and be like, hold up, guys, I want to check out the game trail. And the party goes, oh, okay. We'll let Billy Bob go down the game trail a little bit, right? While we hang out here on the main trail. Billy Bob goes in there. If his skill level is high enough on nature, I'm just going to tell him. You notice that the tracks on the trail aren't deer tracks like you expected. They're little footprints. No, they have more choices to make. I'm going to go do a side adventure maybe. But my point being, this is how you handle it. Now, if nobody has nature, or it's really low, but they decide to go check out the game trail, then you would roll the dice, all right? Because Billy Bob's a plumber, and he's never gone hunting. And in the second scenario, to see if he recognizes that there's even tracks, and then based on the roll, what he thinks the tracks might be. They're not deer tracks, but you're not sure. It could be people tracks, like little feet. Maybe they're raccoon tracks. You don't know, right? Because he didn't roll so good. He rolled enough to get some information, but not enough information. So this is kind of the concept that you're based on the rolls. How much information do you give them? And you adjust it. I didn't find that in here. Whatever WotC is doing with D&D, which my heart hurts. I don't think it's going to be what I would want, but I could be wrong. How to be a DM section, I think would have been helpful in here. I think so. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't really see similar stuff in here at all. I'm sure there's good stuff in here. In fact, I know there is. It's just different stuff, which is interesting. It's also got a whole section on like rituals and saying yes. Just tons of good information in here. Teaching the game to other people who are new. It's got like a whole little half a page on that of good advice. So far 4E is feeling more useful in general than the 5E for teaching someone to be a dungeon master. So stay tuned, everybody. Talk to you later. Peace.